And that brings us to Room for Improvement, sponsored by Rooms to Go, not yet unofficially, but officially. When I think about this, Durden, when you talk about a classic, you got to be careful when you speak to people about things you want to improve because it comes off as, oh, what do you guys know? If you were as talented, you would have, like, man, you guys. All right, you haven't done half the shit we've done. So with that being said, we don't care about your opinion, but we do care about you subscribing. So all that jazz. Only thing that I would improve is this: knowing for a 100% fact that there's a 4.5 hour version of this film, a 3.5 hour version of this film, and like a 2.5 hour version of this film. We both know that while things do wind up on the cutting room floor, there's so much stuff that got left that we've made enough films and watched enough films that we both agree on this is that there are things that are missing such that don't connect the story, but the film is still so good it surpasses all that. Like when Lila comes down the stairs at the end, she is in full, like I say, Oscar mode, crying. Nothing dictates that before this, because clearly you see her waiting for her husband to come home, but it's always playful, joyful. She's never angry. She seems somewhat concerned in the film, but towards the end she's in full-fledged tears, like she thought she'd lost him in the war. Yeah. So if, to me, I wouldn't say that particular scene, but just overall, you got to be careful. No matter how great of a director or writer or editor you are, when you take 4.5 hours of footage and cut it down to an hour and a half, something's going to be lost. And to me, that's the only thing I would change.
Yeah, I could agree with that. The one thing that I wanted to change is, or that I wish was left out, really, is some of the jokes didn't really age well. And the sad thing is that they were kind of low hanging fruit even at the time. And I think that John Hughes is better than these moments, and the movie would have been plenty funny without them. I'm talking about like jokes that kind of lean into like intolerance or stereotypes, like the gay bit in the bed when they're both so grossed out that they woke up next to each other like that. Like it's played so like over the top. It was just kind of out of place for me, and it didn't. I know that is like blasphemy to say because like the where's your other hand in between two, but those aren't pillows. Like I know that that's like a classic moment, but I don't know. I feel like jumping out of the bed like
but you have to remember what kind of world they were living in back then. We didn't have LGBTQ. We didn't have.
I would argue that it was what kind of world Hollywood was creating. This is how guys act. This is how girls act. Like I don't know.
But even in TV, how long did it take on TV before they showed a man and a woman going to bed together? It was like late 70s, early 80s before that happened. So again,
well, I guess what I'm saying is then I expect innovation from John Hughes.
Okay.
So I would expect him to be the trendsetter that breaks that kind of trend where dudes don't have to be grossed out by like that. Like, you're not gay.
You wouldn't be grossed. You wouldn't be grossed out if you woke up with a hand in between your ass cheeks. I'm just asking.
I would be weirded out. It would be awkward, but it wouldn't be like this exaggerated, like, oh, how's that Bears game, man stuff, like.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh, yeah, that's a little over the top. Yeah.
And then like the fat jokes, like the oversized underwear in the bathroom, like.
I don't think those were oversized. I think those are perfectly fitting underwear.
I think it could have done. It would have served the movie better without those moments, because I think the emotion of it would have hit harder if it was. It was like these few little one-off moments where the movie didn't take itself as serious as the plot and everything happening in the movie is asking the audience to take it. Mm-hmm. So that would be my one room for improvement. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments what you would have changed about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I was thinking about something as well too. You know how they did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like, what are if we would have thought about what was our favorite plane, train, and then automobile movie. I thought about that where you're going. Mine, I went Passenger 57. I went Money Train, and then I went for the driver movie. I think I went. It wasn't Heat. What did I say? Knight Rider, but the one that hasn't come out yet. the Knight Rider.
How about Speed?
Speed. There we go. But it's a bus though. That's automobile.
Yeah. Hot Shot.
So that is it. There would be Passenger 57, Money Train, Speed. Yeah. There you go. I like that. Yeah.
Find us in all these links. It's coming up right now.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.